You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Trey Gowdy, former congressman of South Carolina, has now joined as outside counsel of Donald Trump in his impeachment inquiry. Now, of course, the Trump administration has basically said, "The hell with Congress. We're not giving you any documents. Ain't nobody testifying. As a matter of fact, we just find this whole process to be illegitimate." But here's what Trey Gowdy had to say. When Obama was president, and when it came to withholding documents from Congress, Trey.
The notion that you can withhold information and documents from Congress, no matter whether you're the party in power or not in power, is wrong. Respect for the rule of law must mean something irrespective of the vicissitudes of political cycles. The notion that you can withhold information and documents from Congress, no matter whether you're the party in power or not in power, is wrong.
You know what? Roll that back. I'm going to play you out one more time. This is Trey. Go ahead.
You can withhold information and documents from Congress, no matter whether you're the party in power or not in power, is wrong. Respect for the rule of law must mean something irrespective of the vicissitudes of political cycles. The notion...
Vicissitudes.
Right now. Go ahead on, Kurt.
Now, my man Derek McGinty, longtime journalist, shared with me a few thoughts that he had when it came to Donald Trump and impeachment. Here's what Derek had to say.
President Trump's been getting away with so much for so long, people have begun suggesting that he's some sort of political genius for whom the old rules no longer apply. We should have known better. The reason Trump can do what he's done is that many of what we thought were laws governing our leaders' behavior turns out they were mere customs, unwritten rules that everyone pretty much followed, mostly because they'd be too ashamed not to. But Trump, of course, is completely without shame, so he's been completely free to indulge his maniacal selfishness. The reality is that if something would be good for Trump, well, Trump can rarely see anything wrong with it. Pay off a porn star? Sure thing. Make use of Oppo research from a foreign country? Who wouldn't? Pressure an ally into investigating a political opponent? Well, that makes for what Trump called a beautiful, warm, nice conversation. I believe that's why Trump seemed a bit nonchalant about releasing the transcript of that warm conversation. He literally had no idea there was anything wrong with what he said. In fact, he seemed to think a quick look at that transcript would clear everything up. It's a crippling blind spot that just may have finally caught up with our president. You know, Shakespeare said, your greatest strength begets your greatest weakness. And while utter shamelessness is a superpower I think most of us would rather forego, make no mistake, it has served Trump well. But at the same time, it just might topple his presidency, even if he can't see it.
But Lauren, they were like, Congress, you're irrelevant. Constitution doesn't even say you could do these things.
Yeah, okay.
When it does.
Yeah.
Right.
They have a huge problem. They have a huge problem with his approval rating, and they have a huge problem with the poll that just came out, I think it was today, actually, that shows that 51% now, and this is a Fox News poll, 51% now believe that Trump should be removed from office. That's a first. That has not happened before. And, you know, the only thing that can derail and mess this up is the bad comms job of the Democratic Party, which is typical of, you know, a problem that they keep sort of having, which is that they get something served right up on a silver platter and they can't execute it. You saw that bad execution when Corey Lewandowski appeared before the House Judiciary Committee. You saw then Jerry Nadler disappear and Adam Schiff appear out of nowhere because Nancy Pelosi, who's not the best at comms, but she's a lot better than she used to be, realized that there needed to be somebody who's the face of this effort in the same way Peter Rodino was the face of the effort during Watergate, and it has to be somebody who can articulate these things really well. Now, of course, the Trump administration serves things up well But that Trey Gowdy video, they just got to run that thing over and over and over and over. You found a better one, didn't you?
This is the statement from the press secretary, Stephanie Grisham. I love this one.
Not the general counsel
I love
of the
this
White House.
These partisan proceedings are an affront to the Constitution, as they are being held behind closed doors and deny the president the right to call witnesses, to cross-examine witnesses, to have access to evidence, and many other basic rights.
We'll get there.
Stephanie, about the 8th grade, maybe it was the 7th grade, after taking Texas history, we were taught the Constitution. We were actually taught that impeachment is written in the Constitution. We were also taught that the House conducts impeachment and the actual trial is in the Senate. I'm just saying, that was 8th grade. That was a little while ago. I don't know what school you went to, but to say that these partisan proceedings are an affront to the Constitution, it's in it. It's actually in it.
But that doesn't.
Like, do they need a Constitution with pictures?
No, it doesn't matter. They don't care what the document
Oh no, I know
says.
they don't care.
But the reason it is much simpler than this. The reason why I knew my mama had the authority to whoop my tail if I talked back is because if she said to me, the next time you do that, I'm gonna whoop your tail, and I did it, and my tail got whooped. Now, my Dems love them. Subpoena means if you serve it,
Right.
and the person doesn't come,
And ignores it,
then what happens next?
Right.
we go to arrest your punk
Madam
ass.
Marshal, Madam Person,
Right.
Madam Chair,
Right.
bam, 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 dear Judge, Marshals,
But they have
step
to
them
do
back.
it. They have to do it.
But we've waited so many
Right.
times now.
Right. Right.
No, and to the point, no,
So you're Trump. Hey.
I release him
do
from
whatever you
all
want.
responsibility for this foolishness, because if a bully gets to keep being a bully is going to do what a bully does until what we say is in that
Right.
Constitution, they find out, because that document is only paper if there's no authority
And that's why
So
Corey
what-
behind it.
Should
So
have been
what
arrested.
Pelosi wants to do, Pelosi wants to say, okay, we issued subpoenas. She then wants to go to court.
No.
No, wait, wait, wait,
play it out.
no. I'm telling you. Her strategy is we're going to go to court, and the courts are going to affirm that we have these rights. And I'm like, you don't have to go to a court to affirm rights that are clearly stated in the U.S. Constitution.
Exactly.
This is not like...
No, but she
And that's
has
what
to go to the court
No, she
to
doesn't.
enforce the subpoena
No,
if they didn't
she
show up. That's
doesn't.
why he didn't show
No,
up.
she
If he
doesn't.
had
No.
shown up
No.
and refused
Hold
to
on.
answer, they could have stepped him back. I'm just talking about parliamentary
I
procedure.
understand that, but
So-
I'm disagreeing with you,
Okay.
because you're not wrong. They could do that, but if you don't show up, pour it into an obstruction charge, put it in the articles
Hold
of
them in
impeachment.
contempt.
That's obstruction.
Contempt,
Well, but it's-
obstruction. Hold on. Put the articles of impeachment together, add that, and vote. They have the Texas. They have the summary of the call. They have the whistleblower. They have more than enough witnesses.
Right.
And if they don't show up and they obstruct, then that becomes part of your articles of impeachment and voted up and down. And by the way, Article 2 gives them complete authority and power to define how they're going to do the
Right,
impeachment.
but
They don't tell you the procedures, but they define.
And
they
that's
being
why
the
she's
Democrat.
saying they don't have to vote. But I agree with Lauren. It's getting added into the articles of impeachment.
Then
Everybody
do
knows that.
it.
But
It should be
I
done
agree
by
with Lauren,
November,
though.
December.
The poll
You can
is what's
fill it
going to
out
make
if
the
you
difference.
like. You
Lauren,
can
go
go to
ahead.
court.
They don't have
there's a
enough
lot.
will.
You can have
But
all the
They're
authority
trying to
you
get
want.
goodwill.
The political
And you can have
gangster in
all
the
the-
White House is not going to comply.
They
You
need
can
the
agree.
will of the
Lauren,
You can have
Lauren,
all
go.
the authority and all the constitution
gotta
you
use
want.
it.
If you don't execute it, and Corey Lewandowski should have been in handcuffs.
Exactly.
That
Right.
was all nonsense.
Exactly.
That was all nonsense. And there's nothing stopping them except them. The fear of the Trump voter, the fear of the red states and
He
the swing
shouldn't have been the
districts.
one arrested.
They have
But
to
the
let
Dems
that
have
go.
to act.
I know that they have to let that go, and they have to pull the
Lewandowski
trigger.
punked them.
Right.
Right.
But he showed up and he answered the questions. He just gave foolishness
but no,
answers.
my point is,
They have to
This
call the bluff.
today
that's
is
what I'm
different.
saying.
They have to call the bluff.
And again, this whole idea that Nancy Pelosi has, if we just keep waiting and the public's going to come around, I go back to Nixon.
They've come around.
Nixon
The public is coming around.
No,
It's not wrong.
follow me. My point is this here. Nixon started with the impeachment proceedings at around 65%.
Right.
Everybody forgets he was reelected
Right, one election.
in 72. They started at 65. When that got down to the end, my man was in the 20s,
Drip, drip, drip.
high
Yeah.
30s. You know why? Because the public watched
Right.
testimony after testimony after testimony after testimony. And you're right. Every time one of his folks, when he says, oh no, this person, executive privilege, who didn't even work for me. And it's like, you refused? Guess what? Cameras, y'all come with us. We're going to drive to their damn house in Virginia. We're going to drive to their crib in Maryland. We're going to visit them in the Republican National Committee Club and going to walk in with some cuffs and do a damn perp walk, and it's real simple. You defy the subpoena, you gone.
Exactly.
Here's the deal.
Stop complicating.
If I am subpoenaed by the DA and I go, and I release a statement saying, I do not recognize your authority.
Yeah. You got
As
an
the
unfair process.
As a district attorney, I find this process to be unfair. I find the proceedings to be wrong-headed. I find this to be shameful. By the time my ass hits sins, their ass will be at the door, and my black ass will be led off to jail.
Damn right.
In cuffs. They will take my cufflinks off,
And you
my
should.
damn belt, my watch, and everything.
And
They
you
would wait till your
should.
show started.
And I can
they would
and I
come
can
in and
be
do
hot,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Don't forget your shoestrings. They
That's
would
what
take
they
your
would do.
shoestrings.
Yeah,
Right.
but
If I had shoestrings in these shoes, they would take those. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, and they keep saying, this is just a doggone shame. This is just a doggone shame. This is just shameful. Another damn tweet by Nancy.
The level of gangster is deep, right? You've got
Yeah.
Gangsters go after
DOJ, you've
Those
got
runs
the Attorney General involved in this, right? But
That's
but
right.
they have to meet them.
You got the
same
Department
level
of
the-
Justice
I know.
who told
I know.
a federal judge.
Unbelievable.
The federal judge was like,
Unbelievable.
That Sirica was wrong.
Let me translate what the federal judge went. Y'all trying that bullshit?
And let me tell you where it's going to get real.
No,
it's
but
going
the
to get real in the Southern District of New York because that thing with
well.
the taxes. First of all, the Southern District of New York does not care
No.
about Donald Trump and his gangsterism.
No, but
okay?
here's the problem.
But the other thing is
that SDNY is still governed by Bill Barr. Okay, they still governed by Barr.
trust me.
They don't always act
What's
like
going to
it.
happen in New
They
York?
don't always act like
What's
it.
going to happen in New York? The Department of New York
like it.
is the state attorney general and the Manhattan DA, they don't have
Right.
any
Someone in New York
DOJ.
is going. But getting back to Pelosi,
All
they've
you
got to
need-
pull the trigger.
All
They've
you
got to pull the
need
trigger.
is the right
I know, right?
the right day with the right subpoena.
Right.
Who's going to
And
be
they
Judge
know-
Sirica?
I know, Sirica.
Who's
They
gonna be Judge
know.
Sirica?
We
Right.
all know who it is. You just gotta make sure that they're there. We know who the judge is for this.
Who the judge?
I'm not gonna say, but everybody
Why
knows
not?
who the judge
All
is.
I'm saying is, you're talking about a bully. When you punch one
Right.
bully,
That's right.
you need one person.
That's right.
Just gonna bust his ass in the mouth.
And I don't know why they
You
won't.
need
The
to
Dems
arrest
won't.
one damn person.
That's right.
And you go, oh.
Oh.
Y'all gonna keep. Y'all gonna
this
keep.
the way we're gonna do
as they
this?
say, you gonna keep playing me small?
Right.
Okay, all right. Watch I do a perk walk with your boy and see what happens. Let me slap some cuffs on Hope Hicks.
But they have people cooperating.
That shouldn't
No,
happen.
they would never do that to her
Why
because
not?
she's cooperating. Because she has fully cooperated and she's
No, she
continuing
didn't.
to cooperate.
No, she
She
didn't.
came to
She
Congress
exerted
and said
executive
nothing.
privilege.
Fully,
Listen.
no, she
The Democrats need to let their hands go.
She has
Hill
doesn't answer
cooperated.
questions, should be leaving in cuffs.
Right there.
I'm not
Panel
sure why they're
agrees.
not leaving
Matter
in
of
cuffs.
fact, I'm gonna do like they do in state court. I'm gonna sit the bailiff right behind your ass.
Right.
Because
Matter of
they
fact, right
lawyer
behind
up
you.
and they need to make an example of someone, not
That's what I'm
everyone.
saying.
It should have
Step
been
him back.
Wojcicki.
Make an
It should have been
example of
Step him back.
somebody.
It should
No,
have been
because he
Wojcicki.
was there in the chair answering the questions. You need someone who is refusing the subpoena, like today.
Fine,
But
arrest somebody.
That's not
He was
going to
there
happen
popping
until the
off.
Dems let
He was
their
like,
hands
I got
go.
all day.
You know the boxing term, let your hands go, start punching. And for whatever
Or as
reason,
I say,
they
if
won't.
you gonna swing,
Right.
swing.
Right.
There's going
Why
to be...
is there so much
Here's
hesitancy?
Pelosi. I'ma hit you.
Yeah.
I'ma hit you.
Yeah.
Why
Okay,
you keep trying
here
to
I
like
come.
Pelosi?
I'ma hit you.
And he's slapping you saying, hit me, and she won't swing. Swing.
He like you.
She's
Punk
gonna
ass.
swing.
That's right.
Punk ass ain't gonna hit me.
She's gonna swing.
No, that's
She's
what he's
gonna
doing.
swing.
Exactly.
This man.
Well, they don't have any choice though because it's a fait accompli.
She's gonna
so
swing.
I
they're
understand.
playing their
Impeaching.
last
But,
hand.
but the point, Lauren, is
Impeaching.
he just
Hell
said
with court.
you ain't gonna do a damn thing.
gonna
They like,
swing.
okay, yes I am.
Yes, I am.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
swing.
She's going to swing.
She's gonna
It's a matter of when.
When?
It's when and who are
She
the only
cannot be
things.
rushed.
And now.
She
She's
cannot
gonna
be
swing.
rushed.
Win
And I don't blame
now.
her for that.
Whomever.
But look,
do it.
figure it out.
That judge at Judge Judy Mean.
She's going to swing.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Make an example out of these thugs. He's the thug in chief. All his fellow thugs know it, and they running around like a gang and just running amok. It's time to put them in check. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, you heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. Now, we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically legal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S., thus creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. Now, this is, of course, very simple, and that is the folks at 420 Real Estate. But their plan is very simple, their business model. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. Now, my friends at 420 Real Estate have something special for the Roland Martin Unfiltered viewers. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500, but you can get in and invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, $200 up to $10,000. Again, this is a $340 billion industry that is still growing. You can participate with as little as $200. For more information, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org for you to get in the game and get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.